of course, you're straight back at it when you're heading to Accrington. I'm pretty sure you're ready to go again.
Have to be. You have to get back on the horse. You had a little bit of a blip on Saturday. Another game. They're coming thick and fast. We've got to be ready for tomorrow.
It was a game again. When you look at it, I would imagine that you've analysed it all, and you'll probably be discussing it with your players as well. But 70% possession, and probably for the first time this season, uncharacteristic mistakes gifted the opposition the advantage.
Yeah, I think they've scored 32 goals this season, and I think the 3 of the front 4 have been involved in 31 of them, either assists or scored of them. And if we give the one of them 3, Ronan Curtis, the ball twice in our box, well, then you sort of get what you deserve. It is uncharacteristic of us. It's the first time it's happened to us. But that's the fine lines, the fine margins. I suppose the flip side of that is it shows how good we have been up to that point. And, that although there's criticism in the sense that shouldn't happen, they were trying to do the right thing. So there's, there's mitigating circumstances. If we whacked it, didn't get a second ball, they whacked it back over the top and they got in. That would be, for me, more of a concern. So if we're trying to do the right thing and play the right way, although it can't happen and we don't want it to happen, there's areas to improve, then it's sort of the best worst case scenario, if you like, to concede a goal. So yes, it can't happen again, but at the same time, I'm loath to say it because we've done well defensively, but there could be worse ways to concede goals. That's for sure.
You don't spend too long in the dressing room after the game with them, but you do go in and did you gauge a sense of they'd let themselves down, a disappointment from your boys?
Yeah. Listen, you've just lost a game. There's a professional pride first. I think that comes in any dressing room. Unless you're on one of them runs where it becomes the norm, which is the time to worry. We've lost one game in the last 3, so we're not. Like I say, if any of us would have said, right, you've got Peterborough, Oxford, and Portsmouth, 2 of them away from home in a week, and you take 6 points, I think you've got to be content, not happy, content. So then when you go in and you've lost, and it's sort of self-inflicted, a fair degree of it is self-inflicted, then, you've got to, you do hurt because you think, bloody hell, we've just missed a good opportunity there to get some more points on the board. And there's always a disappointment in losing, always. There's no point me ranting and raving at them because that just makes me feel better and not them. And it's about improving. It's about getting better. It's about learning. And I think by and large, this season there's been an upward trajectory in that, in that development. So, I'm not going to shout at the players just to make me feel better. I still feel crap now, to be quite honest. But, it's. We are getting better. There's no, as it turns out, we've hit the post. Omar's missed a chance first half. He's pulled off a great save from Ollie Finney first half. We've had 2 or 3 other chances in the second half. And then we've got a penalty that I don't think is a penalty. And probably the ref was the only man that was worse than us in terms of mistakes on Saturday. So, we have to lick our wounds and go again tomorrow. The good thing is there's another game against a hard-working Accrington team. You know what you're going to get when you go and play one of John Coleman's teams. And we've got to make sure we're on the money.
You took the next question away from me, really, because I think that is the positives, what you've just mentioned there, that you were making opportunities and you probably think that you should have scored some because Daniel Powell was probably still thinking when it was 1-0 how it wasn't made to be 1-1. So there are positives that you've gone to side, as you quite rightly pointed out, that you made chances with.
Yeah, I forgot that. You know, the ball's going in the goal and hits him on the back. Then as it cleared off the line, you just go. Sometimes you just, you know, them little bits of fortune, or you know, they can work out in a different way. It just didn't go for us, which is a bit loath to say it because, you know, you don't rely on luck. I don't rely on luck. We don't rely on luck. You create your own luck. So, you know, but it doesn't half help if you get a bit. So, it was one of them days. We put it behind us, and like I said, we move on.
For you, because, and would you believe that's nearly 12 months ago when you lost by 4-1 when you were beaten fair and square. After that game, you bounced back and you went 6 unbeaten. So it is in there that you can do that.
Sorry, Graham, I didn't hear the first bit of the question.
I just looked back at the last time you suffered sort of a heavyish defeat, and it was really 12 months ago when you lost 4-1 at Northampton. And after that game at Northampton, you went 6 games unbeaten.
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it? I might tell them that. You know, that's how you have to react. You know, we've got a couple of cup games in there, which might, you know, influence things, but not greatly, I don't think. But even still, we've got to make sure that, you know, starting at Accrington tomorrow, we're back on the horse and we're heading in the right direction, and we've got to make sure we go there and make less mistakes, take more of our chances, and work as hard, if not harder than them.
More Beckles and Mikael.
I can't hear you, Graham.
Bring me up to date with Mikael Mandron and Omar Beckles, injury-wise.
They'll be both assessed this morning. They was in yesterday. I haven't spoken to Owen yet. We'll see how we are before we go out.
Any chance, you think?
I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know. Mika come with us and just missed out. Hopeful. Omar was more precautionary than anything else. So we'll see how they both are.
You talked about Accrington briefly. They certainly seem as though they're making business this year. You know, they're games behind, but having a terrific run.
Yeah. Oh, John's a good manager. It's a well-run club. They know what they are, their identity. They've got a real strong identity. That doesn't half help achieve, you know, and make you better. So we know it's going to be a tough game. We went there last year in the cup and obviously did well, and we've got to do the same again this year. It's as simple as that. We've got to make sure we play football and like I said, work harder than them.
You come across Michael Nottingham, a player who did you proud in the second half of the season last time around to win promotion. First of all, were you surprised to see him how quickly it ended up from Blackpool to Accrington?
That's football. That's football. If Critches told him he's not going to play and he wants first team football, then there you go. You know, it's good luck to him. You know, Accrington have paid £30,000 for him, so you know that shows how sort of good he is. I suppose from our point of view, going into tomorrow's game, the good thing is we had 4 or 5 months with him, and we know his weaknesses as well as his strengths. So, you know, we've got to. He's a great kid, a lovely fella, and it'll be good to see him again. We've just got to make sure that we do expose what we think his weaknesses are, and not let him, you know, show his strengths.